Hey, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co., and today I'm giving my first impressions of Beast Shattered Isles from Studio Midhall. I say first impressions because everything you see here is a prototype. All rules and components subject to change, and I'll have a link to the crowdfunding campaign down below. Speaking of crowdfunding campaign, this is being crowdfunded over on GameFound, and please take into account that I am CMO of GameFound and any potential conflict that presents for you. But that said, this, like I said already, is a prototype, and not all prototypes do I call first impressions, but over here we're missing some of the content over here. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into what Beast Shattered Isles is. In fact, some of the stuff I'm gonna be showing you today is actually from the Great Hunt expansion, one of two things that are going to be in the crowdfunding campaign, and I'm gonna try to touch upon the various new things that are present. But before we do, let's take a quick note to talk about what Beast is, my opinion of Beast, all of that stuff. And Beast is a hidden movement game. That's what it is. It's a hidden movement game that I had the opportunity to cover about 1.5 to 2 years ago, and I really loved it. To the point, actually, that I'm in a bit of trouble over here, because on the back of the box for the original campaign, they have a quote from me: "Beast is, without question, the best hidden movement game I've ever played," from Board Game Co. And that is something that I genuinely meant it when I said it. I loved Beast. I thought Beast was an incredible experience. Also, since then, I've had the opportunity to play Mind Management, and Mind Management is also an incredible game. I've also since then had the opportunity to finally play Beast again since Beast showed up, and diving into the prototype, and we're not going to get into which one of those two games I currently prefer more, because we will hopefully possibly save that for another video. What I will say is that I'm not really sure which one I would pick. You see, Beast is an incredible hidden movement game. It's an incredible hidden movement game which you're going to be wandering around the map, trying to hunt down this beast who occasionally has to pop up and accomplish various goals along the way. Every single game you're going to have a contract that you're engaging in. The contract's going to define some of the rules of engagement, so to speak. It's going to be specific to the map you're playing on, and then you're going to have the various beasts you're hunting, and the beasts are wildly asymmetric in their abilities, but then again, so are the hunters. You're going to have the hunters hunting down the beasts, and those are also wildly asymmetric in their abilities. Both the beast and the hunters are continuously trying to power up while the beast tries to accomplish its goals, and while the hunters try to capture and slay the beast. Meanwhile, you're going to be drafting cards every single round, and if you've watched my channel, you know drafting is one of my favorite mechanics. And you'll be drafting these cards that are going to give you the actions for the round, but the actions might be different depending on if you're the hunter or the beast. So when you have a card in your hand, you might want it for yourself, or you might just want to deny the beast that action, or vice versa, denying the hunters the action, but the actions you actually have are different depending on the cards. And so you're trying to balance these actions you have in play. You're trying to balance the types of actions you take, how they're going to help you or hurt you depending on who has those action cards, all while you trounce around the map trying to accomplish your objectives in, again, wildly asymmetric between the contracts, the hunters, and the beast. A very different experience every single time you play. That's the overall idea of Beast. You can watch a full gameplay if you want to see me play through the game from way back when. You can watch my review of the original game on the channel, although there was a review of the prototype, and my opinion of the game has only continued to solidify since diving into this once it actually arrived, because it's just so ridiculously good. That's my opinion of the base game. As far as the expansion content over here is, and again, I'll cover what we have so far, and please keep in mind all this, again, prototype, work in progress, things can change, all of that. In fact, even some of the stuff I've played with, I'm not 100% sure whether I've played with the newest version of certain things, because, again, prototype, some things have been changed or adjusted, rules tweaked, keywords added, characters changed, things like that. But let's talk about what the expansion does add. First of all, and kind of annoyingly out of sight, the expansion adds an entirely new map over here. This is where I'm going to try to swing the map over so you can see over here, because I'm trying to show you everything on the table. But the expansion adds two new map sizes over here. We have the upper Shattered Isles and the lower Shattered Isles, and the maps are going to have different new components. It's not just a new board. I'm going to go ahead and close this up over here. It's not just a new board, but it's a new board that comes with, let's see if we actually can show you. I'm realizing now I probably should show you this over here. It's a new board that comes with two new things that are worth touching upon. The first new thing is going to be the idea of these shortcuts over here. You're gonna have different shortcuts where you can move around from different areas more easily if that is your favorite terrain. They're called hidden paths, not shortcuts. The hidden paths, and they're going to allow you to jump around the board more easily depending on what you do over there. It gives you different degrees of adjacency, but with rules restrictions around them. Overall, it's something that I haven't fully. It's something that I'm still wrapping my head how to readjust the way I approach the map with these sort of pathways, but not total pathways. I like the variety they add, but to me, so far, at least based on my experiences so far, it's neither something that is amazingly great, nor is it anything bad. I like the variety of what it adds to the experience. I like it just for the sake of variety, but I'm not fully invested in it just yet. The other new thing that the maps add, in addition to just the change terrain and all that, the other thing that the map adds is going to be the concept of runes. Now, runes over here, runes is something that I really enjoy, to the point that it's going to make some of the older contracts slightly less fun to engage with because there's just no runes in play. Runes are these locations on the map that you can go ahead and control, and they're the locations that you're going to have your contracts. Your contracts are going to reference the runes that you're playing as. And so this game over here, we'll talk about the contracts in a second, but over here the contracts are going to give you something you can control the runes and then therefore get an ability for them. And so that's just something that just gives you another element on the map to interact with in a way that I mean, I'm assuming I will play the original map for Beast at some point. I'm assuming I'll go back to it because why not? But I really like the concept of the runes to the point that I almost hope that they give... I don't even know, like, I'm trying to think through, like, will Studio Midhall in some way backwards compatible, give you tokens for the original maps? I don't know what their plans are, but to me, I really, really like the runes, and it's just something that I would almost immediately favor the new map because it gives you that extra thing in play. And again, they have the hidden paths. The hidden paths are fine. I don't mind them. I don't feel as strongly as about the hidden paths as I currently do about the runes. Do the runes make the game drastically better? No, but it's just one more thing to be aware of and to be mindful of on the map, and something you can use your summons for to control as well. So you don't necessarily have to always give up your location or different things like that, but it's something you can have a degree of just the map feels like it matters more when you have the runes in place. So I really like the addition of the runes. Speaking of the contracts that the runes have, you're going to have more contracts. Over here, I have this one over here. I have this contract over here for these two over here. But there's going to be more contracts as well. I only have some of the new contents for the contracts. And more contracts is always a good thing in Beast. I think more contracts just gives you more variety to the experience. I don't know if I felt that the new contracts that I got to play as were particularly amazingly better or whatnot in a different way, but I like the new contracts. I mean, past the fact that they have runes on them, I like the runes, but more contracts to me is a good thing, more variety to the experience. But again, similar to Hidden Pass, I think Beast already comes with a bunch of contracts as it is, and I don't know if I felt that I strongly needed additional contracts. On the other hand, the new characters and the new beasts over here, that's an area where, and again, I only have partial experience with some of the things they have, because we have some new characters, and some of them are going to be from Shattered Isle, some are going to be from the Great Hunt, and we have some of the new characters, and they're going to be, well, let's go ahead and talk about it, but they're not, I don't have everything for them. I don't have all the new characters, I don't have all the new beasts you're going to be fighting as, so I only have some of the experience over here. But as far as the new characters, we're going to have three that I had the opportunity to see over here. We have Esmira, Elvind, and Eldir, and all three of these new characters have very different play styles to them. Esmira kind of feels the most similar. I feel like Elvind and Eldir are trying to do more interesting things as far as the gameplay goes, but I think Esmira is possibly my favorite character to date from the ones I've played. I'm not sure if I've played as everyone. I think I've played with everyone. I don't know if I've played as everyone. But I think Esmira may be my favorite character just for her ability Black Star. Black Star is going to be one of her abilities she can unlock that allows her to get a free extra play at the beginning of every single beast turn. In fact, her other abilities also kind of mirror off of the beast. You know, you have Predict over here, which copies the first action card the beast plays. We have True Instinct. Whenever the beast gains a face-up beastly challenge, you may move a step. And so her abilities almost seem to mirror the beast, almost seem to play off of the beast itself. And I really, again, Black Star, just getting a full extra action at the beginning of the beast turn every single round just feels so spectacularly powerful. I assume they're all balanced. I don't know. I assume they're all balanced, but I really like Black Star as far as the ability. I like Esmira's abilities in general. But Elvind the Sky Hunter and Eldra the Flame Blade Huntress, they're also going to be strong in their own way. Elvin's going to give you a companion you can play with in a different way, and you get a grappling hook that's a lot of fun to play with. Eldra the Flame Sword over here is going to have with her Dark Flame. Whenever you overload Flame Rapier, all revealed beings you move over moves with you. You'd have to know the card, but more importantly, this is a good time to talk about Overload, which is one of the new mechanics in the game. And Overload is present both on beasts and on hunters, and it's the concept of if you play a card as the first card of your turn, you get a stronger effect on that card, which is something else to be mindful of, especially if you have multiple cards with Overload, especially if you have multiple effects with it. But getting that extra effect, you have to kind of give up the control of the timing of it, but you get that extra effect out of it, which is a satisfying little trade-off they have. So I like the new mechanic of Overload and the way that's present in the game as well. But again, all three new characters are just fun in terms of the additions they bring to the table. I like what I've seen of them so far, and I'm excited to see I think there's one more character, perhaps there'll be more, perhaps there'll be stretch goals, I don't know any of that, but I like the new characters from what I've seen so far. Then we have the three new beasts over here. We have Marduk, we have Reborn, the Feathered King over here, and we have Valkyr, Abuser of Stolen Souls, of which Valkyr might be my favorite of them so far, although Reborn, the Feathered King, is fascinating because he starts off particularly weak. He starts off with only 2 health, but once you kill 2 more animals, he gets stronger and more powerful. So you kind of have to persevere past that initial start, but then from there he's more powerful. I find that mechanically interesting. I don't yet know. I think I need to play with him or as him more to see more from it. Marduk's going to have a lot of summon cards. The Storm is going to have some overload in play. Marduk feels a little bit more basic. Nothing, not basic in a bad way, but more like some of the standard beasts. I think Reborn the Feathered King, that flipping card over there, is a big shift from what we've seen so far in the beasts. And Vakr in particular, Abuse of Stolen Souls, has a fascinating mechanic where they have a soul mask in play. They have these tokens that are going to power up some of their cards and abilities, but if you ever run out of them, then you'll be completely revealed on the map. And so you have this additional degree of power to play with, an additional resource economy to play with as Vakr that's going to give you, is it Vakr? I think Vakr. I'm trying to remember the pronunciations of all these cards, but Vakr is going to give you an additional resource mechanic that allows you to power things up and become more powerful, but if you trade on them too heavily, you will become revealed, and so you have to be mindful of that additional economy of the game. And that's, of course, in addition to all the regular abilities they have. There's boards full of abilities, cards, the drafting, everything you have going on in there is just going to be just powers and abilities left, right, and center, both on the beasts and on the hunters. But I think, for me, Esmeria feels like the most basic of the new hunters, but possibly my favorite, and Vakr is very fascinating and possibly my favorite of the new ones so far. I don't know, again, I have to go through which beasts I've played through in the original base game, trying to compare them and contrast them from there, but overall, Vakr is very satisfying to play as. But that's kind of what we have for the new content. The new content for Beast Shadow Isles is going to have a few things. It's going to have more contracts, more boards, more hunters, more beasts. All of that is just more. It's also going to have some new things. That overload keyword is very satisfying to play with, that additional ability over there. You're going to have the concept of the hidden paths, which for me is, again, I think it's a good thing, but not necessarily the thing that makes it for me. The runes just make the boards in general just easier and better to, not easier, but more engaging to play with, and so that's overall a good thing. And so I'd say so far my overall opinion of Shadow Isles is, it is more of a good thing, but it's not just more of a good thing. There also are tweaks or adjustments, or it's not just more characters, but there are concepts of runes or the concept of overload. And so for me, I don't know if I feel that Beast Shadow Isles is an essential expansion. I think Beast is an incredible game as is, and I think Beast will give you a ton of gameplay as is. If you are someone who backed Beast and you have Beast, and if you're wondering if you absolutely need this to make your experience complete, you don't. But it will probably give you more things. If you like Beast and you want more characters, if you want more hunts, if you want more contracts, more Beasts, if you want more, this game will absolutely give you more. There's more action cards. We haven't talked about everything. There's more action cards as well. So the game will give you more in the game. There's also these cards that can be played both as red and as blue, so you can choose which action to play it as. Again, there's more in the game, but there's also some slight tweaks. In particular, I think the runes is going to be the biggest thing for me, but I don't think the runes in and of itself make the game an essential thing. I think it's good. I think if you like Beast, there's more here to like. If you're just diving into Beast for the first time, and if you're wondering if you really need to spend more money to make your experience complete, I think it's good. I'm just repeating myself. I think it's good. I think it's good, and I think that's where it is. But that's my opinion of Beast Shadow Isles. I think it's a good addition, a good expansion to an already great game, giving you more content, slight tweaks, but not doing anything completely drastic to the overall experience. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you found this helpful, and as always, I hope you have a good one.